Why can't I stop? Her hand holding. The spoon is trembling. Tears in the eyes. Just moments ago, the female journalist had been so critical of Japan. She silently took another bite. The family members who were there were also speechless. Can a single dish really change a person this much? Why did she fall so far from her former self? You'll find out why later. If you're interested, please subscribe to the channel. To be honest, I'm not interested in Japanese food, she stated emphatically. The subject of the interview was Japanese home cooking, but her expression remained cold throughout. You can imagine that his appearance is plain, so there's no surprise there. A journalist's composure. No, even more than that, a gaze that is based on negation. He had visited Japan several times in the past. However, each time, the article ends with the same conclusion. An overrated culture, that was Japan to her. The purpose of this visit to Japan is the same: determining whether it truly has value. No, to be precise, to prove that it has no value. The place she headed to was neither a tourist spot, nor a famous shop. A very ordinary Japanese family. Is there any point in eating here? I muttered as soon as I entered the entrance. The welcoming family members, though a little bewildered, showed smiles. But she suspected that even that warmth was just an act. This atmosphere, is this dish really capable of changing a person? Her name is Emma. He is a journalist working for a major European media outlet. I also have experience covering war zones. He was known for his objective style of evaluation, based on numbers and facts, and devoid of emotion. That's why I couldn't understand the ambiguity of Japanese culture. She believes that words like delicious and gentle don't convey anything. A wooden table in the living room, bathed in soft light, a typical family scene. But she felt something was off. Too quiet. It's too perfect. An atmosphere where no one speaks up. Is this what Japan is like? I thought to myself, dismissing it. A faint aroma wafts from the kitchen, accompanied by a rising steam. But she frowned. There are no strong spices. While taking notes on unmemorable scents, my evaluation is already starting to solidify. The family takes their seats. Father, mother, and little daughter. Nobody's in a hurry. Nobody looks at their smartphones. I'm just waiting for the food to be served. She was momentarily taken aback by his reaction. Why can I be so calm? Today we're having bamboo shoot rice, my mother said, holding out a bowl. White rice with lightly colored toppings. Nothing flashy, but steam rises quietly. At that moment, Emma's hand stopped. For just a split second. I don't know why. However, for some reason, I couldn't take my eyes off it. But she quickly regained her composure. It's simple, he said calmly and matter-of-factly. She sat down in the chair and picked up the spoon. However, its movements were somehow slower than usual. What is there in this dish? Please, eat it, before it gets cold. The mother urged quietly. My family also naturally started using their chopsticks. No one was in a hurry, but Emma was the only one left behind. In that atmosphere, which everyone was definitely savoring. She scoops up rice with a spoon. And a puff of steam rises from it. It smells stronger than I expected. But it's not flashy. Just as I thought, I said, letting out a small sigh as if trying to convince myself. That's when it happened. The girl next door said with sparkling eyes. I love this. That's all I said. A voice that is so pure and without calculation. Emma glances at it for just a moment. Really? The girl blurted out, nodding vigorously. I look forward to it every year. When spring comes, we eat this. The phrase, when spring comes, we eat this, strangely stuck with me. This was an idea that didn't fit her values, as she associates cooking with the seasons. But, it's just a meal, right? I said, a little more forcefully. Please check. To deny. Then the father calmly replied. I agree. But every year when I eat this, it reminds me of the same time. Emma said, her hand stopping. Remembering? Through food? I don't understand. No, I don't want to understand. There's no way someone's emotions could be moved by something like that. But the atmosphere around the table had definitely changed. The family is laughing. I'm not saying anything special. But we're just eating the same thing. Why does this space feel so fulfilled? A slight disconnect was beginning to form within Emma. Emma remained motionless, still holding the spoon. It's over once you eat it. I felt like I was about to understand the source of this strange feeling. But at the same time, if you don't eat, you can't be a journalist. I had come to evaluate it, but for some reason, I felt like I didn't want to evaluate it. I can imagine the taste as he repeats to himself. It's just rice. No surprise. Even though I think that, why can't I take action? Suddenly, the girl's words from earlier come to mind. I look forward to it every year. Does food transport time? Does it evoke memories? Is there any meaning in such ambiguous values? Emma has always viewed the world through a rational lens, believing only in things that can be proven by numbers. But right now, there is definitely something here that cannot be proven. Family smiles. Unspoken sharing. Quiet warmth.
静かな温かさ。
All of that was disrupting her thoughts. You'll understand when you eat it, he murmured softly, not speaking to anyone in particular. Lift the spoon slowly. The steam touches my face. A very faint scent wafts through the nose. At that moment, something stirred within her. Is that wrong? I want to deny it, but I can't completely deny it. My intuition told me I had gone too far to turn back. Emma slowly brought the bite to her mouth. The next moment the movement stops. Huh? An inarticulate sound escapes my lips. Bite. Chew again. The flavor is not flashy. But something is definitely spreading. Kind. Yet, it remains deep inside. I realized my breathing had become shallow. Why? My mind couldn't keep up. It was just supposed to be a meal. But that wasn't the case. With each bite, it quietly and surely seeps inside. I unconsciously scooped up the next bite. I can't find a reason to stop. No, my vision is blurry. And I can't stop it. I don't know why. However, my heart feels warm. Why is it like this? The hand holding the spoon trembles. Tears fell. With her family quietly watching, Emma simply continued to eat. Still speechless, over and over again, the words, "It won't stop," were finally squeezed out. It was the moment something completely broke down inside her. If you found these kinds of stories of moments when people change resonate with you, we will continue to bring you more, so we would be happy if you subscribed to our channel. Emma was speechless for a while. However, slowly put the spoon down. The sharp gaze that had been there just moments before had vanished. What remained instead was confusion and feelings I couldn't fully understand. Why? That was the only word that finally came out of my mouth. Not directed at anyone in particular. It was like a question I was asking myself. The mother smiles quietly. I haven't done anything special. I just make it the same way every year, he said, and Emma's gaze wavered. Similarly, every year we repeat the same time with the same people. And the same taste. The idea that there is value in that. It was something she didn't have. I can't record it, I muttered softly. Up until now, she has put everything into words. I have explained, analyzed, and drawn conclusions. But now, I don't know how to write about this experience. The girl smiles innocently. Let's eat this again next year. Those words resonated quietly. Emma couldn't deny those words. Next year. The same thing. With the same person. On the contrary, I felt a little bit envious. The atmosphere at the table remains unchanged. Quiet, peaceful, and fulfilling. The only one who had changed was Emma. On the way home, Emma was walking alone in silence. The night air is a little chilly. But deep inside, my heart was still warm. A value that cannot be proven, he suddenly murmured. Things that we have discarded until now. Things that have been judged to be vague, inefficient, and meaningless. There was definitely something within it. That one dish. That time, that atmosphere, none of it can be put into numbers. But it definitely moved people. She stops. Looking up at the sky. I tried to put it into words, but then I stopped. This is probably not something I should write about. It's something you feel. When I thought that, I let out a small laugh. I want to eat it again. That one sentence quietly fades into the night.